Basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast. I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting back.
There's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it.
Caitlin Clark just shared that she is taking a break from basketball until April. At the same time, Alyssa Thomas spoke about the rude comments and slurs she says she got from some Caitlin Clark fans. Ryan Ruocco said Caitlin will not play basketball during the offseason. That means it will be more than 200 days before we get to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball again.
Allow me to publicly thank the Indiana Fever for putting up such a great fight tonight and for battling back again and again and again all season long. Let me thank Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and all the rest for refusing to say die, refusing to lose, fighting back again and again and again, and playing at a much higher level than they should be at this stage and age. Was I ever entertained?
Caitlin Clark also got knocked hard to the floor in her last game. That didn't really surprise anyone. And of course, no foul was called. Can someone tell me how that was not a foul? Oh wait, I already know. It's because it happened to Caitlin Clark.
A lot of things that this group accomplished that, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season, and two, after the start we had to the season. So, yeah, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple weeks, and then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again. So,
Alyssa Thomas was not happy after the game. Even though she helped her team win, she was upset about how fans treated her during the game, especially the Fever fans. But when Angel Reese knocked her to the floor some time ago, she did not say anything. Now that it involves Caitlin, it seems like a different story.
We don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And, we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
Is Caitlin Clark's decision to take a break after her amazing WNBA season a big turning point in her career? And what could it mean for the future of women's basketball? As Caitlin Clark steps away from the court for the next 200-plus days, fans and sports experts are wondering how her time away will affect not only the Indiana Fever, but also the whole WNBA. Caitlin's choice to focus on rest instead of playing overseas or in 3-on-3 basketball shows a new way of thinking about her career. But what does this mean for the WNBA's future TV ratings and the growth of women's sports? Caitlin has decided to give herself a well-earned break. This surprised some people, but it makes sense because she had such a busy season. Caitlin Clark basically played almost as many games as an NBA player in a full season. Caitlin Clark played in 81 games over 324 days and spent 2,850 minutes on the court.
Clark now has 761 points, breaking the record once held by Simone Augustus. However, there is a caveat. Augustus set the mark back in 2006 when the WNBA regular season was just 34 games. Clark broke the record in 39 games.
Let's start by talking about Caitlin's last game. It was not just another regular season game. This was a playoff game where everything was on the line and the pressure was as high as it could be. The Fever were playing against a strong Connecticut Sun team, and most people thought the odds were against them. But Caitlin played the way she usually does and gave another great performance that showed why so many people are talking about her. In that game, Caitlin scored an impressive 25 points and handed out 9 assists. But if you watch the game closely, you could see that she easily could have finished with even more assists. Again and again, she gave her teammates perfect passes, only to watch them miss simple layups. This was not just bad luck. Caitlin's passing skills were easy to see. She kept creating great chances, finding her teammates in the right places, and making the game easier for everyone around her. Sadly, The shots just were not going in.
How I would grade myself. I'm a tough grader. I feel like I had a solid year, but for me, the fun part is like I feel like I'm just scratching the surface, and I'm one that's nitpicking every single thing I do, and I know I want to, help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates, and I know there's a lot of room for me to continue to improve. So that's what excites me the most. I feel like I can continue to get a lot better, and before we know it, I'm sure we'll all be back here. And
the pressure in that game was not only on Caitlin. The Fever, a team that had struggled during parts of the season, was playing against a strong Connecticut Sun team with a lot of playoff experience. But Caitlin was not the kind of player to back away from a big challenge. From the very start of the game, she attacked the basket, took her shots with confidence, and did everything she could to give her team the best chance to win.
We got a lot of players, a lot of these wonderful ladies who bust their tail to make the WNBA what it was. Here's the reality. It wasn't what it is. The quality of basketball may have been up to snuff, and you had somebody as popular as Cheryl Swoops, who had her own signature shoe, had to deal with Nike and all of this other stuff. But the bottom line is, very few people gave a damn.
Caitlin's last game may have ended with a tough loss, but her whole season was nothing less than amazing. This was the year Caitlin Clark proved that she is one of the most exciting and talented players in the WNBA. From the way she scored points to the way she created chances for her teammates, Caitlin was the leader and the biggest reason for the Indiana Fever's success. It is important to understand just how great Caitlin's season really was, especially because the competition in the WNBA is so strong. Every team in the league knew that Caitlin was the player they had to stop. Defenses were built to slow her down, and coaches kept changing their game plans to reduce her impact. Even with all that attention, Caitlin kept finding ways to play at a very high level in game after game.
Well, that was a lot of fun watching Caitlin Clark's rookie season, which is now over. The Indiana Fever knocked out of the postseason by the Connecticut Sun in a 2-game sweep. And so we got to see the carryover from Iowa transition to the pro game, her ability to help develop a team's cohesion and chemistry. And we saw that work so well as the season went on. Clearly brought like a magnet phenomenal attention to the league, bringing new fans, a committed fan base, not just in her home arena, but bringing fans to away arenas and packing the houses and increasing different venues from smaller to larger because of their presence. It's been...
Caitlin's ability to make long-range shots is probably one of the things she is most famous for. She has an amazing talent for making three-point shots from far beyond the three-point line, and she does it with great accuracy. This makes defenders stay very close to her, which gives her more space to drive to the basket using her speed and ball handling skills. But Caitlin is not just a scorer. She is also one of the best passers in the league, often setting up her teammates for easy baskets and getting everyone involved on offense. In fact, Caitlin's passing is one of the biggest reasons she stands out from other top scorers. While many players mainly focus on scoring points, Caitlin has a special ability to see the whole court and make the right pass at the right moment. Her 9 assists in her last game were a perfect example of that. And as mentioned earlier, she could have finished with even more if her teammates had made more of their scoring chances. But more than the numbers, what really made Caitlin stand out this season was her leadership. Even as a young player, Caitlin took on a big role for the Fever. She became the player her teammates counted on during the biggest moments. Whether it was making a huge shot near the end of the game or coming up with an important defensive play, Caitlin was always there when her team needed her most. That leadership, along with her amazing talent on the court, made her one of the most important players in the WNBA this season.
I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that.
After such a long and demanding season, it is no surprise that Caitlin has decided to take some time off. Many WNBA players choose to play overseas during the offseason, not only to stay in shape, but also to make extra money. But Caitlin has decided not to play overseas and to rest instead. For her, the choice was simple. She needed a break. It is important to remember that the WNBA season can be very tough, especially for players who carry as much responsibility as Caitlin does. Playing overseas might sound like a good idea, but it also means keeping the same busy schedule with very little time to recover. For Caitlin, the physical and mental stress of the season was enough to help her realize that taking a break was the best choice.